Today is the first class. I think you please tell me whether I'm visible or audible. So this is the standard questions and good afternoon. So these are some needless things in English you have to repeat. Uh, you can respond one at a time, no issue. This first class on Python is very interesting language. Python, one of the negative point of Python, I must tell, this is one of the slowest, yes, but why the whole world is running for Python? Because if you want to go for machine learning application, then Python is the only choice. There is no other language nearby Python. So that in some of the universities in USA like Stanford, they teach Python at the first semester itself, even before C. There is always a debate whether you have to learn C or Python or Java. Can any one of you respond to text box whether I am visible and audible both? Please. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay, fine. So this Python is, then why you are learning Python? So there is always a debate whether go for C and whether Python or Java. My idea is learning C is think of learning a Sanskrit language. C is used in very specialized environment. Most of the programmers not using C now, but if you know C in the best possible way, you can learn any language. Like if you know the Sanskrit language, you can learn any Indian language, any German language, but like that's like C. C is you cannot underestimate C. But even without a C, without knowing a little bit of C, you can be a good programmer. I also believe that. Some people doesn't believe that, but I believe even without knowing C programmer, you can know, you can master the Python. So there is no gap. But if you know C very well, Python would be easier. That is also true. Okay. So what is the course pattern? I'll see. Here I expect, because here it is not possible to work in a group. So I expect, but everybody should work his or her own. If he or she can manage one group partner, maybe the consecutive roll number may be a choice, or you can take any of your chosen partner as a group. But I suggest, because it is more or less, it is a everybody's effort at home, so you can submit you have to do certain projects, minimum 1 or 2 projects. My requirement is 2 projects. One is very mini project, one is a little bit tougher project. Subhashish sir might demand more. So the more you do right now, the more you can learn. That's true. Okay. So I believe you can do a project alone, or if you think you need someone complementary, then please you can choose your partner. It is free for you. So today at 6 o'clock, after 10 minutes, I'll stop recording and I'll take feedback over audio mode. So this video will be available at my YouTube channel also. Please do like, don't give unlike button. That is funny. And this is recorded, and that is the reason I am recording it. And you can ask any question. I can see the questions at your text box. I can answer the questions. So regarding the, first of all, the projects, what are the projects you are going to ask? So a project can be basic Python, this game development. It can be any image processing development, because you know Python you can do lots of with the 10 lines of code you can access your, not only 10 lines, 3 lines of code, you can access his laptop camera and do the image processing, and you can the computer vision, lots of code are there you can do. Say first of all, any project you don't have to build it from scratch. So you can get lots of codes, you can make copy, but try to understand and later little modification, and you acknowledge that you have taken the code. That's good enough. That is the way the world is going. So you should practice where you can practice, and what are the books. So I have certain good books available with me. Today only at evening after this class I will send those. But my best idea is you learn it from python.org site. That is the best possible way you can learn, and you can just copy that portion and run it on this thing. And there is a little bit confusion about which IDE, integrated development environment, you should use. My preference will be, Shubhashis sir will say his preferences. My preference will be first 2-3 classes we continue with the only console based work. Because why console? Console based work you can work it at Windows, you can work it on Linux machine. If some of you can go to the Raspberry Pi machine, you can also do it at Raspberry Pi, because Raspberry Pi is a small microcontroller. I have a Raspberry Pi, I wish to see in my next video. That Raspberry Pi with you can have a remote mouse and keyboard that is cost 1000 rupees. Most of you probably have it. I also have it, because in the laptop the problem is mouse is not, don't get the feel of mouse. So if you get in a wireless mouse, it costs around 500 rupees. If you pay another 200 or 500 more, 1000 rupees, with a single dongle you can have a separate keyboard and mouse. So that separate keyboard and mouse around 1000 or 1500 rupees, the best one, like Dell or Logitech. The same keyboard and mouse you can put it to your Raspberry Pi. If you have a TV with HDMI, most of the people, like all LED or LCD TVs have HDMI port, so you can put your TV to your output screen, and it is much better screen than laptop. But laptop is how much, 15-inch maximum, but here you can get 19-inch and more, and much better resolution, and you can have a safe distance, and also you have a keyboard and mouse. So, and a Raspberry Pi with 8 GB RAM, if I'm correct, is a 6000 or 7000 rupees, and you can get a 8 GB RAM there. You can load Windows 10, or we can load any Linux version like Ubuntu. So, and it has a Wi-Fi built in, so you can access your Wi-Fi network, and so that's it. So it can be act as your laptop with the same thing. Is very cost effective, and there Linux machine, there is a Linux is already loaded there, and you can, and Python is also loaded. So if you want to develop any Python based work, it is the best way to learn console based learning. So that is the reason I don't want to go for there's lots of IDs, PyCharm, PyPy, lots of idle, lots of IDs are there, but ultimately whenever you go to work, I found Google Colab is one of the best, because it is not an IDE, it is basically a Jupyter notebook. Jupyter is one of good IDE. It is available on your Google. It's a great idea. So it's like a Gmail. If you go to the right side of your Gmail, if you go to the various accessories, you can see the Colab, and if you just click it, the Colab, you'll launch into the Colab environment. Otherwise, another way you can get it, if you search a Google page and you just type Google and Colab, then you will automatically land to a Colab screen, and you just copy paste any code, and if you run it, that will run. The one advantage of Colab is, if your laptop is say 4 GB or 8 GB, it doesn't matter, because it is a remote desktop concept. So actually your Python program will run on Google machine, but one disadvantage also is that program you cannot run maximum 12 hours. So if it runs at your own laptop, you can make your laptop run for 24 hours a day or 20 hours a day. Your program will run and look through, but at Colab it cannot be done. And generally it is, though it is Google said it's a 12 hours, it's some reason or other it will kick out your program after 5-6 hours. So that's the limitation, but you will get a much better CPU power. Google will dedicate their virtual CPU around 16 GB RAM. You can get not only CPU, you can get GPU. GPU is graphics processor unit, which is generally for some graphics processing. You can get around 10 times, sometimes 5 times to 10 times performance. If your program needs lots of image processing or computer vision, there you need a GPU. And by the way, I tell you, if you have to plan a new laptop or you have a second laptop, or if some people I know new laptop, you should buy at least 8 GB RAM and with a GPU card, preferably from NVIDIA. Yeah, because there are other GPU card is available, but you can take any brand. You can get Dell, you can get it from Lenovo, whichever brand is so cheaper. Or so, but because you are all student, and I prefer, because why, you can ask why it is 8 GB, because 8 GB is minimum requirement for your Android app development. 4 GB you cannot. So I also prefer it should be 16 GB. 16 GB and 32 GB also available, little bit costly, but 16 GB you can get it for 40,000, I believe. Good brand with SSD, 512 GB SSD, and no CD drive is required, and that's it. So there you should have the GPU. So GPU will be helpful so that you can your performance will be much better. So what summary? What is right now? I just summarize what I have told right now within last 5 minutes. That Python is slowest, but why you are learning Python? That portion I have not cleared. I'll say that C or Python, two ends of the language, so it is not contradictory. So you can learn Python very well without much going detail into C. But if you know C very well, you can learn Python more quickly. That's all. Lots of the programmers, if you see the what is the requirement of the industry, still Java has till now Java is the highest employability rate, but it quickly changing to the Python. So there is now in the major programmers category, it is Java versus Python race is there, but Python might win. I'll tell why. But C is always there. But if you but only C doesn't help you. If you have to expert in C, you have to learn C++. C++ is the fastest language, is the best language. You can get both procedural programming and object-oriented programming. And C++ there will lab, I believe. Earlier it was syllabus, it is there. C++ is a very excellent language. Those who love C, I will ask them to go for, instead of C, go for C++. If I had taken your data structure lab, I would prefer C++ based data structure experiment, because I am not taking your data structure, so I am taking the Python courses. I have already talked with, I will talk with Subhashis sir that I will prefer all data structure examples can be learned Python with a maybe 1/4 lines of code. So we will do that. So this is it. So the question is, you should know Python because it is useful. You can quickly develop a game. You can quickly develop a machine learning program that you cannot do with that amount of time with C. But if you can make it with C++, that will be faster. But nowadays, programmer's time is more costly than the time of a CPU. So programmer's time is more costly. So that is the reason the popularity of Python. You can do anything on Python. You can do game, you can do image processing, machine learning. So what C can do, Python also can do. But what Python cannot do, you cannot write a device driver with a Python. So there it must be written in C, C++. So any bare machine, you cannot run Python on it. So you need to run a operating system. These operating systems are generally written in C. Then you have to run a Python virtual machine, and that Python virtual machine also written in C, like Java virtual machine. With Python virtual machine on, you can run your Python code. Say one famous PyPy IDE is totally written in Python itself. Others, I am not sure. For performance reasons, they might be written in C, but I am very sure about PyPy, that is PyPy, that is this thing. So I'll stop right now. I'll take some more questions if you can. Some questions, I'll be glad. I'll just see the text box. So you can take. I am taking the questions. Yeah, Android Studio. Yes, yes, yes. Can anybody take your microphone on and ask me the question also? Any microphone, you can take one microphone at a time. Yeah, I'm not seeing any questions here. Yes. You can ask question, please. Okay. So we can start see some typing. I see how to run. Yes. So how to, I'm just in the Python session. I'm to go by exit. This is the command. This is I'm running it Python on a Windows machine, but you can run it on Linux machine. Command is the same. You have to see, is it visible? The screen is visible? Please tell me. Or it is not? Screen is not visible.
So the screen is not visible.
Okay, yes. Screen is visible?
No, sir.
No,
Okay,
sir.
I am checking it.
Sir, I guess you have to present the screen.
Yeah, I have done it. Enter screen. Yeah. Yeah, I think it should be right now. Thank you. Thank you, Tathagata. Yes. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great. Screen is visible, but I am not seeing. I am not getting my screens. I just check. Yeah, please tell me screen is visible or not. Python. One at a time.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Tathagata?
sir.
Yes.
Visible.
Acha, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay,
Visible,
okay.
sir.
I think better one of you should respond. Can it be? Can you please Tathagata, please? Just you please. Any questions?
Okay, sir.
So this is the command Python. Okay. So here you can see you just any command prompt you have to download the Python package. The downloading at different places and Windows are different and here, and you can see it is the version. This is 3.7.3 is the latest, and there is another confusion whether you go for Python 2 and Python 3. The Python 3 all code is not backward compatible. So right now most of the development packages are written in Python 3, and but some of the good codes are written in Python 2 also. In the meantime, I give an example like in 2017 Hackathon champion, one of my good student Ritik Var, Krishanu, they have developed the whole software in Python 2.7. At that time Python 3 also developed, Python 3 also coming out, but whole library system is developed in Python 2. So there is a total gap. Python 2 is a one environment system like a Windows 7 sort of thing, and Windows 10 you can take it to Python 3. So whenever you go for Python 3.7 or Python 3.8 or Python 3.6 doesn't matter. So you can download Python 3.6 also. So you can work on Python 3.4 also, doesn't matter. So but you should work with Python 3. Am I clear? So this is Python 3 is you can take it as almost separate language than Python 2. The whole syntax is different, but Python 3 is okay. So Python 3 you can see this is the version, and one good thing is you can write it, say print, say I can quote a single quote. Sorry. Single quote. Hello. What will come? This print hello. Anybody can make microphone on and let me interactive.
Sir, hello will be printed.
No, it's wrong. This if it's a Python 2, then hello would be printed. If because it's a Python 3, there should be some error. We can check. We should give it in Python first bracket, within first bracket hello. That is the command. But it will the perfect command is Python 2. I think they should give error. Let's check it. Yeah, that's give error. So we should check. We should run it within quotes. Now, hello. Yeah. So that's it. Okay. So very simple, the print statement. And another very interesting symbol. Take any example. I equal to 3. If we say print I, and I better, it is always better with a first bracket. Not bracket. It is a, you have to do like this. This is a Python 3 print I. What it would print, please? 3.
The 3.
Yeah, good. Then what is say I? What is the type of this identifier? The type I.
Integer.
Yeah.
Integer.
Yes. Yes.
Integer.
Great. Great. Then if we say I equal to 3.3. Now.
It will be float.
Yes.
Floating type.
Yes. Great. Great. Yes. I check it. If some you are advanced, but some people not advanced. So you should practice. Yes. Why? So this is called, what is that? This you cannot see it in C or Java. What is this name? Can you tell me? There's particular name for it. A good name, a sounding name. It is called dynamic typing. In C and Java, it is called static typing. Here, it is automatically changes its typing. Okay, so it is a kind of a dynamic typing. It is a dynamic typing, and I personally do not like much about it. But who is the developer of this language? It is one great gentleman. He developed it for different reasons. So he has an idea. So this is called dynamic typing. So if you run a big program, if there is some error, it will take that error and go. So that is one of the reasons whenever the BASIC is developed in the 1980s, yes, BASIC. Probably you are aware of your Windows operating system. The original operating system is DOS, DIX operating system. Have you heard MS-DOS, Windows 3.1? Have you heard it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
They are already written in BASIC language. They are not written in C. Actually, Bill Gates is a very good programmer. He is an extraordinary programmer. He developed the BASIC language. He bought it from some other vendors. That language he later rename it Quick Basic. In fact, I also trained myself in Quick Basic. It's a very powerful language like Python, and there is no type checking. But later on it is found, if a program becomes long, the variable, you might a single mistake in variable name, it will, if it doesn't find that name, it will take automatically the value 0. So, and the program will run with error, and there is you can it is very difficult to debug. So that is the reason the subsequent language, like you can see Pascal or C language. C language is the best example. Even Java also, you have to always declare a variable in the beginning of the C. So there is a complete two types of policy. I prefer the C and Java policy, that is called static checking. So whenever you type a variable, then you must declare it at the beginning of the program. But inventor of this, inventor, this Python, he took the idea of the basic language. Definitely some advantage are there. It is maybe shorter amount of code, because all Python codes should be 10 or 20 lines or maximum 30 lines. But there is one risk is always there. That thing is that if you mistype any variable name, the case would be different. So this is called the dynamic typing. Okay, so that's it. Any questions? You can put it in type box. I can take the question. Any question if you have. Yeah. Are you getting the screen? Sometimes I little bit confused. You are getting the screens, no? Can anybody talk about it? Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're getting.
Yes. Okay. But I am not getting the screen. That is the problem. Stop presenting. Okay. then I'm stop my video and now in audio mode we can take questions and your bandwidth requirement. I'll little bit fix the problem. Yes. Ask any question on audio. Anybody one at a time. You are getting the screen, no? Are you getting my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
But yeah. Yeah, you can ask any question, right? Any question. Then we'll take a break. Then I'll send all the books, but I again repeat, the Python is a dynamically typing, and Python. One good example is Python doesn't have so-called array concept. The array here is a kind of list. What is the difference between array, C array, and list here? In the C array, all the array elements of the same type. If it is all character with 1 bytes, all if it is a integer, all should be integer. But Python has a concept. It comes with a list with a third bracket open and with a comma separation with the items, third bracket, that is a list. But the best example of list is it can be mixture of items. It may be character, it may be float, it may be integer. So indexing is the same like an array. Array index starts with 0. So that is the difference between array and the list here. List is a data structure. It is available in Python, built-in data structure. But in C, you have to make it a data structure on your own. You have to declare the array. And Python has another interesting structure. Python is also an array that is developed in another package that is called NumPy. NumPy is much more powerful than C array. You can make it much faster. You can get all the advantage of array. The same kinds of element can be grouped together so that it can bring to them from memory and back to the memory in the same very faster NumPy. Then another interesting thing in Python is the set. We all know in our mathematical processing, set, if we have a number, say list of number 1, 2, 1, 3, what is the set? What is the element? 1, 2, 3, not second, third one, because set cannot have any duplicate number. Am I getting? So that concept, there is in the set, every item should not have any duplicate. Every item should occur only once, and there should be no order. Okay, like there should be no order amongst the elements. That is it is available in Python. Very interesting data structure. It is very powerful. Set is available. Another interesting data structure is available is tuple. It is a kind of set, but here it can have a duplicate item, and in a set also the items can be different categories. One can be integer, one can be float, one can be complex number. I'll come. In Python you can represent complex number a plus j, like plus, like I want to represent a complex number, say 1 plus 3j, that is a real part is 1 and complex part is 3. So I should say 1 plus 3j. So if you want to get real part, you say real, that id dot real, and imaginary is image, imag. So that is great. That is most of the mathematical operation, we have a square root of -1, that is I or j in Python. Lots of operation. So you can get a complex number system built into the Python, but C cannot have. But with C libraries you can, but Python has built in the complex number system. Python have a list data structure. What is the list data structure? It's kind of array, but array can be of different elements. It can be integer, it can be float, it can be complex number. That is a very powerful. If you want to get the powerfulness of array of C, you should import the numpy. You have to give a statement import numpy as np. What is np? Np is a short form of numpy. If you don't write import numpy as np, you write only import numpy, then you have to give numpy dot built-in function name every time. So code will be little bit bigger, looks cumbrous. So it is now international convention that everywhere we call numpy as a np. So that is you can get 1 dimension, 2 dimension, 3 dimension, multi-dimensional array. In fact, much more powerful than C. Powerful in the sense, the concept of what is powerful. Powerful means does it run faster. C is always run faster than Python minimum by 10 times. But why is called powerful? Powerful means you can run the program in very less number of codes, and that is called powerfulness. Okay, that is powerfulness. I am coming to this. So what kind of data structures, what are the C data structure is there, it is there. But here, like Java, you don't have a Java, you do not have a character. Like Java doesn't have a character. I am not saying Java doesn't have present character type data is not there. It is all string. In Python also it is a string, because what is the difference between character array and string is, you probably, if somebody knows Java, they know the difference between string and string buffer. String is a class, there it is any character immutable, you cannot change. That is a string class in Java, and string buffer is kind of a array in C. You can change a character. So it has been found that most of the cases, like my name is Somnath Raichaudhuri, my first name is Somnath, it can be Samnath or Esnath. It will be always SOMENATH. We cannot be misspelled like SOMNATH. So most of the strings, it is better, like your first name, last name, whatever whenever is created, it is immutable. It's better if it is immutable, your program will run faster. So that is the reason in the application it has been found that it is better to represent screens as a immutable, unlike C. C doesn't have this facility. So C though is a powerful, but in a data structure, the C data structure array, everything is changeable. Though you might feel that it is a powerful, but is actually it is very difficult to program. So in Java and in Python, there is no concept of character data type, built-in character. There is a data type called string, and the string can consist a single character also. That can be done, or is a big series. That is the difference between string and character. No character data type. Boolean data type is there, true and false, T capital true and F capital false. That is a data type of Boolean in Python. I have already told that set is one data type. Set is a kind of list, no duplication. So you can really, because you all know mathematics, so you know set concept. In fact, we have learned set concept at the age of at my school 10. After I've done my class 10, I introduced to set. But nowadays, probably you are introduced to set in class 6 or 7. Set is very powerful concept. It should be learned earlier. Set is available in this. Then what the tuple? What is tuple? Tuple is a kind of a set, but it has a duplicate items, and tuple also immutable. Set is also set. Set you can change. Set element you can add and delete. And there is another concept, frozen set. What is frozen sets? Frozen set is a set means you can add any item to it, you can delete an item to it, but frozen set it means frozen. So once a set is created, you declare it a frozen set. You cannot add or delete any item. So that is a frozen set. It is also a very powerful concept, and it is you can write quickly good programming, good programs on with a frozen set. Then what is the difference between frozen set and tuple? These are the typical question we might ask you. So this is a little bit confusing. Frozen set and tuple also you cannot change. Okay, tuple you cannot change any data item into it, and frozen set also you cannot item and data into it. Can anybody answer? On in type box I can see what is the difference between frozen set and tuple. Yes, anybody can type, or you can be voice. What is the difference? Yes, great, Shreya. Yeah, good. Shreya have given the correct answer. The tuple can have a duplicate items. Frozen set cannot have the duplicate items. Good, Shreya. So I'll ask throw one sometimes these questions to you. So then another great concept is called the dictionary. The dictionary. What is dictionary? It begins with a second bracket opening and pairs of name and separated by colon. The left hand side of a colon is the search element, and the right hand side is the what took the values is a pair, and separated by commas and ends with a secondary bracket. Can you tell me what is key there, or it is on the left side or right side? Anybody can answer the text box. I can see. So this is a little bit advanced. No issue. I'll again
Left side,
repeat.
sir.
Left side.
Great. Shreya, tell it. So you can type in. I
Left
think. But if you give a voice, because I am creating the YouTube video, so you type in. I'll announce your name. Yes, left side. Left side the key, and right side the value. A dictionary can can contain a dictionary? Can anybody try it? Yes, correct, Tanushree. No.
Yes, sir.
Yes. No, don't speak. Don't speak. You type it. I will announce. Shoham says yes. Yes, dictionary can be built in a dictionary, and can a yes, good. Can a key element of a dictionary can be a list? My question is, can a key element of a dictionary can be a list? No, Tathagoto, it cannot be list, because list is changeable. Key should not be non-changeable. So it should be a frozen set or tuple. Please check, but this is, I will again go. Yes, it can be this thing. Yes. So key should be fixed values. It should be right hand side, the value side, it can be changeable or it can be unchangeable. But key, actually what is done, key is used to create a hash function, and hash is quickly go to the target. So if you want to find a element in an array, a big array, say in C, take the example of C, or you can take the similar example in Python. In instead of array, you have a list, say 1000 element array, and if you have a 1000 element dictionary, which will be quicker to find a particular element? Try answer your check box, text box, please. Don't make your microphone on. Can anybody tell me what is the, which one will be the quicker? Whether it will be list or it will be dictionary, or it can be. Yes, Sagnik says dictionary, Shoham says dictionary. Yes, it is dictionary, because what is the reason? If you go by array concept, it is go by one element at a time, like ON. The complexity, if there are n elements, you have to go through all the elements to find it. But in dictionary, you do not need to. You can quickly jump to that element by hashing function. Hashing was interesting function. You will learn it data structure, but you can learn quickly what is hashing. Hashing is such a thing where input is a big number or big text. It can be a big array character size, but whenever you choose a proper hashing function, the output is generally unique. One example, very crude hashing is modulo, but there are very sophisticated hashing function like your password in a system. Your password is never whatever the password you are giving, it is never saved in your system in a text form. It is always go to hashed values. First your password is makes to be enlarged one, then hashed, and hash value is kept here. So nobody, even the system administrator also cannot come to know what is your password. So that is a hashing. So okay. So I quickly recap whatever we have done today. Lot of time has been passed. It will be boring. You can put your questions in this. So why you are basically learning Python? Python is sometimes the only one language for machine learning. You can heard many things like R language or, but they are nowhere near to Python. So for what is machine learning? Machine learning, I am telling you, from the first year we teach you the programming. What is basically programming is that you have a data set, you try to visualize how to manipulate and write in the program. But right now there are so many solutions are available. So now we can give the label data. I know these are the data type A, these are the data type B, these are the data type C. I put into one program. The program will be can learn itself, or program can write itself. Am I clear? So you have here your data is input, and you can output is a program. Are you getting? In your formal programming, the C program, what we have read how to write good program, but now the good artificial machine learning program can learn itself, and like in now chess, any chess champion can be beaten by computer. So this is called a machine learning problem. So that I hope it should not come into the teaching mode also, but it will come definitely. You can have a bot, they can teach you. Personal trainer can be machine learning program. You ask the machine learning bot, and he or she, the bot you prefer, so it can answer. That is the machine learning is one area is very upcoming for the last 5 years and 10 years. It will be field where you have lots of labeled data is there. These labeled even say I am working on brain tumor, different types of brain tumor, the different kinds of tumor. These are the so you have a data. We have a input it images, and you output it this kinds of type of tumor, and there's a plenty of data, and then you start with a basic anomaly detection program. You pass through this labeled images or labeled data, the program become more knowledgeable, same like us human. So it is called machine learning. So machine learning is, the concept is totally different. The program write itself, a small bootstrapping program you can say. You write a basic bootstrapping program, then if you give a label data, that is called supervised learning, and that program become more knowledgeable, and that is called machine learning. And that is the only where Python is unbeatable. So there C is not suitable. And then I come to the topic, what is to be learned, C or Python or both? I always say both. There is no conflict between two. C is such a language, if you can learn it well, then you can learn any language, okay? Because basically you can say mother language is C, but Python designed completely different. It is a dynamic type checking. So that I dislike about Python, but what can be done? Python, that is the Python. So I can take any question right now, and then I'll call it a day. And you work, I'll be available on WhatsApp and all this thing. I'll be available. You type out a question, and then I stop recording, and you just type down. Yes, I got the answer. What is applied machine learning? I think applied machine learning and machine learning almost same. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. What is the difference between artificial intelligence and machine learning? I'll talk next day, or if you, then I think I'll welcome you to work in this area where Python is the king or queen. So machine learning one area. Any question? Dictionary, I got Shomu Pandey correct. Ankita says Chris correct. Please put your questions here in the text box. I can answer right now. Any question? I'll repeat all these things. Don't worry. Those who have come to the Python, I repeat everything on screen. Repeat many times. So don't worry. Today I go too much. So I'll give an example on machine. Please raise questions, and anything you have any doubt, please put it. Why Python is slower than C language? Yes, good question. Shufrokanti asked it. Yes. Why Python is slower than C language? Good question. Because C language runs on a bare machine, and Python is run on a Python virtual machine. What is Python virtual machine? The Python virtual machine is written in which language? It is generally written in generally C. So definitely Python has to be slower. So but one advantage is the same Python program can be run from any machine, from small your mobile computer to mainframe. The same code, you don't have to change. So the same as a Java. So the Python and Java, they are born in the same year, 1990. So you cannot say Python is a copy of Java or Java is a copy of. They simultaneously developed. Java is more like a C++, and Python is completely new concept. So Python is that beautiful. You can ask why the Python name. Can you tell me what is why the Python name? Can you write it? Why it is the Python name? And I take the questions. Python is slower than C language. Shubhrakanti, if you are not satisfied, put it in your box that what you are not answered. R is also, yes, Tanushree, R is also used for machine learning. It was very popular. Basically, data visualization, R is still the best, but now the shifting is going for the Python. Matplotlib, one good library function is there. Are lots of library function. Yes, R is the nearest contender. Particularly data visualization, R is probably ahead in Python, but now the gap is really coming up. For general purpose machine learning, Python is superior. Any more questions? Shomu Pandey, what is the basic difference of tuples and list? Is a good question. List is ordered. Okay, list is ordered, and tuple is you cannot change. You cannot change, and that's it. If any question, I'll tuples are immutable. Yes, list is mutable. Correct, Tanushree. Yes, I missed that. Tuples are immutable. But here, Tanushree, tuple. What is the concept? What is the difference between tuple and frozen set? Frozen set is also immutable. Tuple is also immutable. But tuple can consist of duplicate items. Frozen set cannot be duplicate items. But both tuples and frozen set can be key element of a dictionary. So key element of a dictionary should not be of a list, because list is mutable. So dictionary is a very, very powerful, because this is, you can get a lot of code can be written dictionary, because you all know dictionary. So dictionary, you can get the usefulness of frozen set, tuple. Yes. Any more questions? Tathagata, Python. Yes, Tathagata, why the is invented? Python is a Monte Carlo show. Monte Python show. Yes, Tathagata.
Yes, the circus,
Yes.
the last name of the circus was Python, and
Yes.
we decided from that, I think.
Who is telling you? Tathagata, yes.
Tathagata.
Why they are making it Python? They want to make a fun out of it. The
Yes,
developer,
they want to make
yes, so
something
that
different.
is
Wanted
that
a
spirit.
mysterious
Yes,
thing.
that is that spirit. We want this in our lab also. Little bit of fun. because Python is meant for this. There is no meaning of Python. It is not how it is compared to snake. Actually, at that time, he is searching for a name which can be funny. He is a very fan of that particular show. Whatever I learned, same as James Gosling also regarding the name of Java language, because
He named it after a tree on
yeah,
his
oak tree.
table.
That is an oak tree. That is a tree. Yeah, that is a language oak. Then it comes Java. Yes, you are correct. So there is no such meaning. Why? Okay. Any other question, Monte Carlo? Yes. Any other question you can put it? Acha, yes. Sharthak has said one question. What is the difference between high-level programming language and low-level programming language? Good question, Sharthak. Low-level programming language we can consider as a assembly language programming. That is a machine dependent. Right now, machines are so many types, because you can run Windows on 8086. You can run Windows probably this another microprocessor like a strong ARM based microprocessor, ARM processor. So now nobody is doing programming on the machine language programming, like this assembly language programming. Now the assembly language field is covered by C language, even not even C++. So you can low level programming language, I consider C is very powerful, because still now most of the JVM, Python virtual machine is written in C programming language, C and C++. So C is definitely very a good language. Okay, and put your attendance. Okay, fine. Then any other concept? Comic series? Yes. Any question? Acha, how is memory is managed in Python? Yes, good question, Shoham. How is memory managed? Because we know in C you have a different types of memory. In C, one kinds of memory is that is called automatic type of memory. That is called just a minute, 1 minute, 1 second please. Thank you. Yes. How is the memory is managed is Shohom's question. Yeah, in a C program, whenever you declare a variable inside a program, that is called automatic memory, because whenever that program comes out of the function, then your memory information lost. If you want that memory value should be there, we declare it as a static. Then your a fixed storage is allocated there. Same for global memory. So that will create a much larger image in your dynamic. That is it. And another is, if you want to have a memory on the fly and keep it there, then you have to use the malloc or calloc. Malloc you get raw chunk of bytes uninitialized, and calloc you get a initialized memory in different types, in character, integer, and you have to, it is your responsibility, programmer's responsibility to free it or reallocate it. But all the modern languages like Java and Python, this whole responsibility is taken by one memory management unit runs inside Java virtual machine, same as Python virtual machines. So you don't have to delete the area because every memory has a kind of a tagging inside. When somebody is using that memory or some function, it will be tagged. If there is no tagging, the one particular program, say garbage collector, same concept here in Java and Python. If there is no tagging, it will automatically take the space, and you have no outer space. Like sometimes that error will not be there. Yes, I'm coming one at a time. Dictionary, yes, that is why Python is slower, I've answered. R is yes, Tonusri is correct. Then what is the basic difference in tuples of list? I have covered. If you not, please see the books. I'll again. List can have duplicate items, and tuples can also have duplicate items. Tuples is immutable, list is mutable. But list you can change it. That is it. Tuples can be, yes, Tolus is correct. Tathagata is Python is the enters, yes, you are correct. Shourav, Onkita, yes, any questions? Put it on the text box. Python, comic series, yes, put it. Memory manage, I think Shoham, if you do not satisfy, please put it in the type box. What is the OOPS concept? Basically, what is that? Oh, OOPS is a great concept. It is like object oriented concept because I am a teacher. A teacher is a class. I am a example of a teacher class, and you are a student. You are also human. Both are coming from human, but you belong to a student class. You are a member of a student, and I am a teacher, and we communicate through messages, like I am communicating, and the system is running. So this is very difficult to build this kinds of interactive system with C. That is the reason C++ came. It is object oriented. You have to declare class. Like I am creating a student class, I can create many student objects out of it. I can have a teacher class, I can make many teachers out of it. They will interact with the messages. So that is the OOPS concept. If time, I will discuss one day OOPS concept. The first thing is encapsulation or inheritance. Encapsulation and inheritance is the basic requirement. So OOPS concept I will definitely cover. Okay. That is Shubhrakanti. That is a Python have both the concept. Python has OOPS concept with a class. You can create a class concept class here, same as a Java. Yes. I will try to answer this. What is PIP? It is a installation manager. Shoham. It is a PIP is a you can manage your Python installation package. PIP is full form. So there are lots of other way also, because if you work in a Google Colab, we might not require, because pip is very easy to, it is just a command you have to give. It is a Python installation manager. It will run, it will bring those modules and keep up to the market. Shomo Pandey. What is the difference between a repetition control instruction and decision control instruction in Python? I am not just now cannot come to answer. I will try to answer in the next class. I just cannot understand the question right now. Okay. Yeah, Python says, oops. Yeah, Tathagata says, is Python compiled or interpreted? Python is an interpreted language. Okay. Python can be compiled. I cannot say that then it is a compiled Python. It will be faster, but most of the Python whatever you are using are interpreted Python. That is a late binding, so that is a little slow, but advantage is you can change the code runtime, and you don't have to, if it is a compiled, you have to stop the program again and run, because now in a real time compiled code is very difficult. Until and unless is operating system, most of the code which is running as interpreted code. Nobody can afford to stop the system. So that is interpreted. Java is also interpreted. It will be slower, but it is more rugged because compiled code means you have to stop the service and run it. Yes, interpreted. Shubhrakanti says correctly. Shoham says interpreted. Any more question? Okay, Shoham, memory management is tough, yeah. Onkita, first compiled, then interpreted. Onkita, no, it is interpreted. Compiled Python is available. It is called C Python. One particular language is there. It is a compiled. Which are the in a Python program? Which are the programs which is run most often? They are written in C Python. Okay, whatever I know. So basically, whatever the Python we are teaching it here is a interpreted. Yeah. Shubhrakanti question. Any more question? Put it. Please. What is REST API? Yeah, this is a project. REST API. You can ask the question. It is a API services. Yes, this is all now modern user interfaces have a REST API. So you Google it. Then your project is on write a small application on Python with a HTML and so that you can REST API? It is a good question. It is typically outside of the scope of the this course. Okay, I'll try to answer sometimes. Yes, CPython. Show home RESTful API. Yes, correct. RESTful API. Yes, RESTful API. You can say modern HTTP protocol is a sessionless. It doesn't have a memory. So REST API does have a memory. So that is the reason why HTTP protocol doesn't have memory, because if it has to have memory, it will be very slower. But your web browsing will be slower. So that is the reason HTTP protocol is basically stateless protocol. You sometimes heard stateless. Even the stateless protocol. HTTPS is different. HTTP is a more secure socket layer, more your communication is secure, but it is also stateless. But whenever you do certain transaction, you need a RESTful API. So HTTP protocol is a stateless protocol. Yeah. Tanushree, we can either create it available. Yes. Show home. You can please everybody at least one question. I will give attendance only. Otherwise, I will not give attendance. Question. All everybody has to ask a question. Yes. But any question? Okay. What is Python path? Yes, Python path is from which path the Python code is being interpreted. You can add the code into the environment variable of a machine. Actually, yesterday night, I talked about environment. Whenever you are running on a Python on a different environment, say Raspberry Pi or many your desktop machine, your several Python program needs separate libraries. So then you can create a virtual environment. I will try to give a material to it, and probably next class we can show what is virtual environment. Virtual environment means you on a desktop machine, you load the Python modules, particular version of Matplotlib, particular version of NumPy, and create a virtual box, and there it is a virtual environment, and then you can control through this Python path. You can set user variable. Tanushree, yes, correct. You are correct. Okay, then may I stop it, and then you should practice it. I am available on WhatsApp, and anything you find difficult, I think you can you are smart enough. Yes. Can I call it a day? Okay. Your permission, please. I am available. What is the function of map? Good question. This question is little bit. Yeah, map is. I think is a map reduce algorithm. You are saying map, or can you take audio? Yes, yes. All these things can be video. Python, this OpenCV package is available in Python. There you can get your webcam video. You can do 3 lines of code. Everything is possible. Yes. What is the namespace in Python? Namespace is same as in Java. So the namespace is from which space you are taking the name. Namespace is difficult. I will try to give a next class. It is same as concept is same like Java. Okay. Yes. Okay. Can you means percentage S in I think it can be. Show I have to check. I think you have question. Yes. Yes, I will check it. Okay. Bye then. Bye. You be there. Okay. Bye.